Okay, y'all, I'm back. Okay, so some people may have to go back to another one. I don't know what's going on. Something with my internet. I'm gonna fix it. Okay. I know I was talking about. I'm kind of doing two things at once because that's how I know that I'm if I'm in or not. So um, let me just tell you, I'm on another. I'm here. I'm live. Okay, y'all with me? Okay. So I'll probably edit all this together. So I'll tell everybody to see it in two pieces. So being in the military, I was at a place, I was saying I was at a place called 19 Replacement. Then you go to another place and you kind of get your gear and do everything like that. And then you go to basic training, right? So basic training, I'm telling you, I don't know how to run. Okay. I was Charlie Company. Okay. That's where I was. Um, Glad I wasn't in Delta. Yeah, that was some hard shit. Um, when thanks, love. I hope everybody catch up, whoever was in. Um, I was in Charlie Company or whatever. So the drill sergeants do what they supposed to do. Okay, it is what it is. All that yelling, it was nothing personal. That's what they do to break you down and make your army strong. Correct. So you know, the boys on one side, the girls on another side. We had some married folks in there, single folks, a little bit of everything. You get a little bit of everybody in there. So, hmm, I was tried. Okay, I don't really think I was the prettiest thing there. Okay, but I was tried. I was tried. Um, Nothing happened, but I was tried. But I got through basic training. The gas mask, getting up at 2 in the morning to watch people sleep. So I hold on, y'all. I'm trying to make sure. I'm trying to make sure. Nikki, you in this one, right? I'm just trying to make sure. Is everything okay though? Um, so I'm just trying to make sure everybody here. I'm live. I just hope everybody come over. Okay. All right. So did you know got to basic training? All right. Got through the PT test barely. Okay, because I had went home for Christmas and ate, and I had a little bit of a hard time. So then, where do I go? AIT. Hmm. So this is again where I'll link up with Kelly. We in the same AIT, Fort Lee, Fort Lee, Virginia. Mm. So I kind of stayed a little bit far, and I lived with two other girls. Okay, AIT is where you go to school for your job. I was a 57 Echo. A 57 Echo was a laundry and bath specialist. That's what I did. Um, this was a little different. So weekends you can earn privileges. You can earn privileges to go off base. And so my school was only 5 weeks long. Thank y'all. Everybody come back over here. It was 5 weeks long. And when and you in order to get your overnight off base, you had to pass the PT test. Now I remember told you, I ain't good at running. Not at all. My friend Kelly, good at running. Her first name Maria. Good. So she's like, listen, Lorinda, we got to get off base. We're going to have a good time, whatever, whatever, right? Okay. I was running and falling behind in the battalion run. I had to finish the battalion run. Battalion run. Let me tell you what a battalion run is. When it's 83,000 people who's 6'5" and they put you behind them and you trying to run. So they one stride, you doing seven. That was me, right? Kelly came back and got me, y'all. She came back and got me. I mean, she was like little Flojo. Okay, I almost died. I'm telling y'all now, I had an experience that I almost died from running, and I literally passed out in the grass. She's like, they like, you made it. You can go up here overnight. Okay, so all the girls, we get a hotel. The dudes get a hotel, right? Um, we do that. We have a good time. I'm 21. I could drink, so we drink it, but I don't. I'm not no heavy drinker. Time number one, sexual assault. Time number one. Can I remember his name? No, I blocked it out. He decided, okay, we gone. I knew he liked me, and he was a cool guy. Like I liked him too, but I just want to be homie, right? And yeah, now her sexual assault. Everybody don't remember. Isn't that amazing? Nobody remembers. I do, and I'm gonna tell you how this also ties in at the end, right? I don't say nothing. That's what they tell you to do. They tell you to do, right? And I remember I had this friend named Todd when my mom lived in Rochester. My mom lives in Rochester, but Todd used to live across the street from my grandmother and found out he lived there. So he came to see me and we were just kicking it with my homie. And, I had like told him what happened. He's like, you're not gonna say nothing. And I was like, what's gonna happen? Right? One. Okay. So swallow that, right? I swallow that. I go to 259 Field Service Company, North Carolina, Fayetteville. Back at 19th replacement. I think this is the really time I went to 19th replacement. Um, okay, was there. Um, I do believe my dad broke my car. Um, went to 259. All the dudes is standing there while me and my homie come bring our bags. These niggas ain't help. They watched us. Talk about we trying to see if you army strong. To this day, uh, my kid's dad will say, we wanted to see if y'all's army strong. Okay. Y'all just standing in the hallway looking at us. Okay. Cool. They're like, oh, we know about you from New York. No, I'm not from New York. I'm from Buffalo, New York. I have to get that straight, right? So we get to our rooms. Cool. But that's what they do. They watch all the new girls. We cooling. I ain't gonna lie. I had a boyfriend when I left. Ugh, that ended pretty soon. That ended pretty soon. So, being in the barracks, wow. Wow, like being in college. So I had a little bit of practice. The drinking, the partying, the sex. You can hear it. I don't know what the hell was going on. There's a lot. I started dating this dude named Special K. Now that right there, y'all, I should have told you. I should have known better. His name, I can't remember his real name, right? But he liked me. He was cool. We decided to date. Maria was with. I remember his name, but I don't. So we hung up. We would double date, right? Hmm. Okay. Now, what I'm about to tell you, I can't not remember what happened first or what happened second. But I believe what I'm about to tell you, this was the order. Special K. So I had to go. I think I was gone in the field, right? Special K started to get a little possessive. Okay. They were like, Huntley, he's in the room. Like, you're not even here. I said, why is he in my room? Like, why y'all letting him in my room? What's going on? So I came back. It was like, yo, this nigga was in your room. I'm like, okay. So possessive. Okay, let's talk about possessive. He's possessive. So he did that. He started getting a little angry. Mm, He just cared about me. No, he didn't. He tried me, but what he didn't know is 259 was a rough. They were some rough dudes. Okay, they handled that real fast, real fast. He tried to put his hands on me, but but my team, my company took care of him. Right, Special K. He was real special after that. Okay, and so did that. Okay, now we have this dude named Steven Farrell. He liked me. I know he did. I'm just dating other people. Whatever. It is what it is, right? I noticed him. But this is the thing. He was that dude. Like he was this real nice dude. And I didn't want to be the one to jack it up. So he become my friend. We cool. He did some stuff, got in some trouble, helped him out. I'll be honest. But I'm gonna tell you something. Never trust a quiet nigga. I'm gonna tell you why that comes into play as well. So, we hang out, but there's these other people just hanging with. I'm still dating, talking. I'm 20 something years old, not trying to like settle down. So I thought, okay, cool. That's what happened. Sergeant Nerio, that's what happened. Mm. He changed my whole life. He changed my whole life, and not in a good way. So let me backtrack. Everybody see two teeth missing, right? So I went to Louisiana on this mission, and I started noticing my teeth was loose. They sent me back to the rear, which is North Carolina. And I go to the dentist and they say you have periodontal disease, where you lose the bone mass in your gums. We have to pull your teeth. Okay. So I'm gonna be missing teeth in the front. Who the hell want a 22-year-old girl with teeth missing in the front? All right. It is what it is. It's falling out anyway. In the army, military, they like to give you Percocet. I don't do drugs. And a lot of y'all know why. I don't do drugs. I ibuprofen, Tylenol, etc. Good for me, right? Amy Percocet. I was in pain, took it. My roommates asked our platoon sergeant, Sergeant Nerio, to look after me. He's looked after me before when I wasn't feeling well. Don't think none of it, right? Mm, Here we go. Percocet make you real, real high, and then it drops you like a bad habit. I took it. Like I said, my roommates went out. Sergeant Nerio comes and check on me. Now, when you on Percocet, everything is slow motion, real, real slow, right? Mm, yeah, slow. I go to turn my back. This is why I never turn my back anymore on people. And he went up my shirt from the back. I began to fight, but I felt like I was fighting in slow motion, which I probably was because I was on Percocet, and he knew I was on Percocet, right? Mm. This guy named Molden will always be my hero. He heard what happened. He was in the room. His room was next to me. Molden, I don't remember how he got in the door. He busted the door. It was open. I don't remember him. Some other people in my, platoon in my company. They whooped on him. Okay, sexually assaulted me. We had number two. We had number two. Oh, okay. Hmm. Now, let me piece some stuff together. Sexually assaulted as a kid, then I get to be an adult. It happens again. Why am I the common denominator on this bad stuff? Why am I the common denominator of all this bad stuff? Oh. So, first sergeant pop, he ain't play. My bow-legged first sergeant. No, no, no. We didn't have him yet. I don't think we had him yet. I think it was a transition. So some stuff I may be getting mixed up. I'm not mixed up about the sexual assault. Maybe about who was in office or who was ahead of what. Um, y'all know how scared I was to call my dad. But I had to call downstairs. They was on duty. Guess who was on duty? Stephen Farrell. He was on duty. He knew, and he helped me. I was a mess. I didn't talk to my dad right away. Um, People made fun of me. They carved the word hope on the door. And I remember sending information and with Moden doing what he did. I think I might be getting. I remember Moden coming to help. He got like special privileges or something. Like he got a day off or something like that. I called my dad and I told him how I told him. I have to ask him. I never asked him like what I said, and he took a breath. My dad said they had already called me, and I know what I was wearing. I know what I was doing. He said because that was a moment of time that stood still for me. Mm. I don't know if I ever asked my dad what that moment was. How did you feel within that moment? I'll put it this way. He was there in 7 days. I never wanted my dad to save me so much at that point. People made fun of me to where I had to move up the barracks. And I moved in with my friend Robinson. Ruth Robinson. Pharrell would come visit me. Um, he would come visit me. I didn't like to go to the company much because I felt like I had like a scarlet letter on my back. I felt like I had a scarlet letter on my back. And he would buy me Hardee's and he would do all this nice stuff for me. But I struggled. I struggled. I felt crazy. I felt alone. And I said, damn, here we go again. As a kid, and I felt hopeless again. I keep feeling hopeless. Am I wearing something on me where people feel like they can violate me and it's okay? Now, this time, I know I'm 21, 22 years old. What did I do to say, hey, this, come on, do this? I didn't. But I'm grateful for Stephen Farrell at that point and his best friend Maurice. No judgment. So I moved in with Robinson. But as I moved in with Robinson, what happened? 9/11. And as we sit there, we like, damn, we going. At this point, I do know my mom is pregnant with my sister who is now 23. right? And I had to call my dad and tell him. So now, sexually assaulted, the first one, the second one he know about. Now I gotta tell him his only child is going overseas. And he said, "But you my only child, that doesn't apply to you." I said they took that out the clause. Right? I'll go with a good team. So I thought. Stephen Farrell was a part of the team. Ruth Robinson was a part of the team. Distal was a part of the team. Terry was a part of the team. Sergeant, Tomb Sergeant, too. Right? Pakistan, 2002, January. January 7th. January 7th. I left. My dad came and got my car. I was scared. My sister was born. Never seen her. My sister almost died. My cousin died. One of my favorite cousins, Jean, died. Go overseas. We good. I'm okay. Let's talk about time number three. Hmm. So time number three. It's a little short dude. I don't even remember his name. I did that on purpose. He forced me to give him oral sex. In the last system, I was forced. Who was I gonna tell? In the desert, right? Was I a joke? By no means am I perfect or did everything correctly. I won't say that. Oh, by the way, he's married. Hmm. I began to turn cold. I would call my dad and I would say, "Come get me, Dad. Can you find a way to come get me?" But I made it as a joke, but I was dead ass. I wanted my dad to come get me. I wanted him to pick me up and take me back home. I began to lose. I'm sorry, I'm texting. Um, I'm sorry. I decided to swallow that again. At the end of the day, my dad to come get me, even though I would say I was joking because I had enough. But I still had Stephen Farrell. That was it. I don't think I even told him to this day. He'll know now. And that invisible thing came back. Who you gonna tell? Don't nobody notice you. Don't nobody care. I turned. And I started being nasty. F you, F you, F you. Okay. Going on a rough march. I was so irritated. I'm in 110 weather. My dad trying to get to me, so I thought that's how I made it look like. Felt like. Took my weapon off and I cocked it in his face. Sorry, Daddy. I said, you don't want to fuck with me. And he looked at me. I had lost my mind. I threw my rank off. It was sewed on my collar. I was an E2, E3, and I was an E2, E3. I took it off. I knew I was in trouble. I was gonna get out, dishonorable discharge, all of that. I knew I was, but I cocked that gun in his face, and I said, "Do not fuck with me." The look on his face. I had enough. I was ready to go home. And oh, remember that first case I told you about? I got a letter all the way in Pakistan. I had to leave to go to Germany to deal with that. Right? Okay. Now I gotta do that. Hmm. I gotta deal with this. So one time my dad couldn't protect me. And I even got mad at him because he couldn't be there. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. So what I do best is swallow it. I swallow it. I leave. I go to Germany. And I deal with that case. I think I told my family I was going to Germany, but I never said why I was going to Germany. And when I got to Germany, I got sick. I mean, sick, sick. Like after court, couldn't sit up, sick. And come to find out, that's where my grandfather died. The same base I was on, right? What's the chances of a grandfather who died when my mother was 3 years old and his granddaughter will be on the same base where he passed away? Hmm. I was lost. So why the hell? Why am I the common denominator of all this stuff? I was in Germany for like 7 days, you know. Came back. Came back. Pharrell was there. Open arms. Hey, I missed you. Okay. He was the good one. He's a good one. Okay. You did. Oh, okay. I felt a little bit safe, but I'm still holding on to what happened in Pakistan. I'm still holding on what happened in AIT. I'm still holding on to the Sergeant Nero incident. I'm still holding on to the Special K incident. Still holding on to the childhood trauma. Still holding on, right? Even though my dad had came down there and he would look for Sergeant Nero, because people thought my dad was playing, he wasn't. But I'm still holding on to all this stuff. The suicide thing came back again in my head. I, I won't be here. I won't be here because everybody do everything to me. My mom, no shade, no disrespect. She couldn't be the mom because she didn't even show up to my basic training graduation. As always, my dad did and my grandfather. So could depend on her. I could depend on my dad, but he's trying to figure out what he can do without getting himself in trouble. None of my family knew. A lot of them didn't even know I was in Pakistan. I found that out. I don't know how they didn't know, but they didn't know. And I'm not mad at them for that. Come back. Me and Stephen Farrell known each other for a year. We dated for 30 days, y'all. We was married. Hence, my name is Lorinda Farrell. Right? Time served. My time was served, and I was violated. I was talked about. I was called a hoe. I said it was my fault. Boyfriend tried to whip my behind. Mm-mm. Mm. Thought about Jack sleeping with my boyfriend, slept with my roommate, like all this. Oh, while I was in Pakistan. Okay, yeah. But let me back up, and this is my fault. In Pakistan, me and Pharrell had to go on trash burning detail, right? Where you take the trash and you burn it. No, sorry, Daddy. It's called shit burning detail. That's the detail we want. We burning that. Okay, we in the Humvee together. We talking. He telling me he liked me, which I know. He's like, we gonna get back and get married. I said that'd be a cold day in hell. Let me tell you, my wedding day I was freezing. Okay, I was freezing. I ate my words. If you notice, we ended up getting married October 4th. October 4th was also the day I went into the military. So I got married, y'all. My dad was not there. He was not happy. My cousin Charmaine was there. Um, my mom couldn't be there. My grandmother was there. Reverend Manley was there. My dad was not happy about the marriage at all. And now I don't regret getting married. I do regret a little bit how it went down. We could have did a little bit better than that, but you know. So got married October 4th, 22. Got pregnant with my now 22-year-old baby girl, Jamina. So what I told everybody, because my time was served. I served time two ways. In the prison, sort of, and then with the army. When I say prison, mentally. Got pregnant with Jamina. So what I tell people, oh, and this is it's still true. You can get pregnant and get out and be armed discharged. I just tell people that was it. Steve had already wrote me a letter because he was in Iraq. He was in Iraq when I was pregnant with Jamina. So that's hence why I had Jamina in Buffalo. And I said, that's the reason why I got out. I didn't get out. I was so mentally done. To be sexually assaulted, it was literally over 4 times. 4 times in the army. A lot of times as a kid. What am I putting out? What am I putting out? Right? Got married. People's like, you changed. Yeah, you become a wife and a mother, you tend to change. So I got out the army May 23rd, 2003. Time served. Time served. Being when people ask me certain questions about the military, I don't mind answering some questions. I don't. But I have people ask me about my teeth situation. And this is so crazy because I just talked to my boyfriend about this within the last a couple days, I think. Right, babe? So when I first met him, my boyfriend, of course, I'm missing the teeth. So when I would smile and talk, I would do it where you couldn't see it, right? I didn't want nobody to see it. Because who wanted to be with somebody who's missing teeth? So I explained to him, because he's my boyfriend, I explained to him why. But when people used to ask me, it was a humongous trigger because it triggered me going to the dentist, Sergeant Anerio, the Percocet. Like it was a downhill thing to where I used to make my ex husband go to the dentist with me because even though it didn't happen at the dentist, it was just such a trigger. He used to tell me like you would be in the bed and you would scream and you would cry, and he said I would wake up with him holding me because he said he had because I guess the night terrors I was having. Some of them I remember, some of them I just do not remember. It could be because I was a new mom and I was just exhausted from my Mimi. I don't really know. Um, so I'm going to jump I got because of another episode, but I have to put this in this one. 2017, a high school friend of mine, Jadon, told me about disability. Now, we never talked in high school, but we for some reason we linked up. I don't God's intervention. Okay. So she told me the same thing happened to her, but with an officer. And at the time, they didn't have what we call disability. So she was talking to me and she was telling me, listen, nothing's going to erase what happened to you in the military. Trust me, I know. She said, but you can't get compensated for it. And so I remember telling my dad, and he's like, I don't know. He said, I don't know if you can handle the whole thing all over again. Because my dad had to write a statement. I didn't handle it well. I had to bring up a lot of the stuff. I had to feel a lot of the stuff. So my ex husband wrote a statement. My father wrote a statement. Um, so I do get disability for it, but I almost feel like it's like blood money because when I get that money, it's a constant reminder of what happened to me in the military. Okay, if I didn't go, I wouldn't have Jamina, Juliet, and Stephen Jr. So I get conflicted on was this all a good idea? I served my time in there in so many different ways. I served my time because my ex husband was in Iraq and I was pregnant. I served time mentally for being sexually assaulted. I served time from a guy being physically abusive to me. I served time far as what happened to me the very first time and nobody acting like they ain't know what happened or seen it or heard it. It's amazing that I can talk about this without crying because I guarantee when I'm done, I'm probably going to cry. I'm just going to be very honest and real. Um, and I went to talk to a therapist, but she made it my fault. So all my sexual abuse was my fault. I asked for him to put his hand on my back. I asked for him to do all that stuff. My friend Natalie. I'm gonna tell the story, Natalie. Natalie came over and I told her about my divorce. She's like, "This is crazy." And so, but Natalie would ask me questions about me being in the military. And I told her a lot of the stuff because we became home. That's my homegirl, right? Natalie, I'm sorry, but you sat here and cried. And I said, what's the matter? I was cutting up some food. She said, Lorinda, I don't understand how you do it. How do you stand like this? I said, it's the grace of God, but it's some days I don't know. I have flashbacks. Um, I even asked my own children, don't come behind me. I asked my dad. I asked my ex-husband, my dude. Like, I don't like, that's why I said it changed my life. I don't do male supervisors. Like, it's crazy because I'm looking as I'm talking to y'all. My grandmother got when my grandmother passed away. My grandmother was a Marine, and in front of my laptop, she got the paper from um, President Bush, and I'm looking at it because I remember how excited my grandmother was when I told her I was going to the service, like following her footsteps. And I also remember telling her everything that happened to me, and that excitement is gone. I know sometimes when I talk to you guys, I may seem uncandid when I say certain things. Um, I had to learn as a part of my story. It happens a lot in the military with men too, not just women, men too. It happens to both. And my son, who'll be going off to the service, I'm proud, but I'm scared. And I'm trying not to put my fears and my feelings off on him because he has to serve his time. Mine is served. He has to serve his time when he go. I think that's the most embarrassed I've ever felt. And not to be honest with my family, well, extended family, just my mom and my dad and my grandparents, they knew about it. I often wonder if I see Sergeant in the area, what would I do? I'd probably whoop his ass. Yeah, that's where I'm at. That's probably what I would do. I'm sorry, y'all. Because he changed my life. He changed my life. And he didn't change it for the best. And it's days that I can visually still see everything happening to me from the military. From it, I went to school. I got my medical assistant. I got 2 college degrees. I got my children. My children is the best thing that came from the military because of their dad. We must be having a reunion next year. I'm gonna go because the people that are coming didn't do anything to me, but I know that trauma is still there. The building is no longer there, from what I'm told. The building is now gone. I know some people may think I'm weird or how I deal with certain situations, but I also have trust issues from the military. I don't trust people in power. I don't trust men like that. My dad is the one I trust the most. And at one point, my husband, ex-husband. This was a hard one to tell. To be violated in that, it almost it became a regular basis. And I always say, did I put myself in that situation? What did I do? Did I let something off? I don't know. I don't know. And that's that little girl that's still inside of me from being sexually assaulted when I was a kid. I felt like in that situation I was helpless. This part, yeah, I didn't tell everything. I didn't even tell my dad. My dad knows about one. He knows about all of them now. Um, but it was a lot of times. And so when I met Pharrell, I felt like he saw past all of that stuff and just saw me for who I was. And he knew I had a lot of trauma. And I had half of my childhood and half from the army. I'm so glad my girls don't want to go. I understand why my aunt didn't want me to go. My great aunt was very, very against it. I don't know if my dad was really against it. He just wanted me to have a plan. But he probably felt some way after I told him all that stuff. Um, I'm proud of myself for not crying too much during this one. But if you see me do quirky stuff, now you understand. I'm quirky anyway. But 9/11 changed my life. Operation Enduring Freedom, that's the one I was in. My husband was in Iraqi Freedom. That changed my life. Um, the Army changed my life. I thought it was going to change my life for the better. I couldn't even do a full 3 years because so much stuff had happened to me. And I was like, I don't want to be the victim in none of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be the victim at all. So, actually, my story of the military was a lot of the reason why I wanted to do the podcast because it's happening. Like, it's still veterans like me who are still struggling with this. I'm very honest. I'm still in therapy. Like, I've been in therapy for a very long time, but with the right person and doing the right thing. Um, I'm very protective of my children. Um, you know, I still don't like to be some like if I'm on the elevator and there's a man there, I'm off. I don't trust it. And it's not even that man's fault. He probably ain't paying me a bit of attention. But that trauma is so real. A lot of this stuff, y'all, I can still see it happening to me. A lot of it I blocked out. But when I decided to do this podcast, um, I knew I was gonna open a lot of wounds, a lot of things. But I wanted to grow up the little Lorinda inside of me because I don't want this to make me a victim. I'm not that. I'm somebody who went through it, unfortunately, but came out on the other side. So let's recount this. I became a mother, something I wasn't really taught to do, but I did the job, right? I became a lot of things, good things at work. I have like these really good sets of friends. I don't try to stay there in that place because I have so much to look forward to thanks to the people in my life. But it may be days I'm not okay, but I push through it. 4th of July, I don't do well on 4th of July. I don't. So I'll be with my dude because I don't do 4th of July. I can't take the fireworks. I can't do it. I feel like I need I do want to have a weapons license, but I'm scared because me cocking that gun in that sergeant face, Sergeant Moore, I wasn't playing. I don't. I may seem like a pushover sometimes, or I may seem like somebody who don't say much, but it's because that PTSD inside of me. I have to check her. I have to check her. People don't realize sometimes I seem passive. Sometimes I have to be for the sake of I'm gonna go off, and I have it. I don't like that I have it. I I was not that person when I before I went in the United States Army. I was not protected. I wasn't cared for. My dad knows none of this. I wasn't none of this. I had to grow up. I tried to put on that thick armor of skin. Sometimes it worked, but sometimes it didn't. But that being in Pakistan blew me. Sergeant Nerio blew me. Every duty station, I only went to one duty station. So I went to um, boot camp. Not bad at all. I didn't really, it was cool. AIT, then my duty station. Okay, I'm remembering a lot of things I didn't want to remember, but it is what it is. So I do appreciate everybody. Um, I hope nobody thinks less of me. Um, maybe you understand me more. Why I have these quirky ways. But I want to be the victim. I felt like sometimes giving a victim story, and I just didn't want to do that no more. Um, no, I'm standing real strong at 45 years old. I don't been through some stuff, y'all. We all have. College graduate. I was a wife. It was a good one too. I was a good one. I wasn't perfect. Wasn't perfect. Okay. A mommy. So now I'm a best friend. Still a daughter to my dad. Um, niece, cousin, girlfriend, which is weird. Because it's been so long. A girlfriend. And the people I have surrounded myself with, even from the job I'm at now, Kiana, Tyler, like I appreciate everybody. I even appreciate the questions because I'll answer a question. Um, hopefully, I get to talk to like more vet people, like veteran people, like and talk about the sexual assault stuff. I want to talk about it without ever stopping. It's a part of my story. It's not my story. It's just a part of it. Um, but it didn't break me. It didn't break me. I'm still here. I still went to college. I still raised my children. I still got I still got a great job. None of it broke me. None of it broke me. It may took me out for a second, but none of it broke me. So this is why I call this episode "Time Served" and already had a shirt. Cause that see this girl right here, that was a scared girl. That girl was scared. I was 21 in this picture. I was 21, but I got it made on the shirt because I need to talk to her sometimes, and I do talk to her, and I tell her it's okay. You will not be you will not be what your circumstance was. You are so much stronger than that. And believe it or not, even though I'm 45, I feel like I'm just becoming a grown woman. It could be because of my divorce, and I had to grow up, and I had to learn to be. I was already independent, but I had to more depend on myself than somebody. So my time was served. They got what they wanted out of me. I got what I wanted out of them, and I will for the rest of my life. But My story, I will not make it no longer I'm a victim. I will make it that it's just a part of my journey, and I'm making the best out of my journey. And like I said, my kids, they saved me. They saved me from so much. And because of them, I would not do that victim stuff. They have to see mommy stand strong on all the time. Sometimes they see me break, but they know mommy is a tough one and I can handle it. So sorry we ran over. If anybody have questions, y'all know y'all can always call me. Like I said, Tyler and Will, I thank y'all so much. Tanisha, I love you. Um, Denise, you know I love you. Um, boo. Um, this was a tough one. I'm glad I did it. I'm gonna tell you, I feel so much better. Please like, share, subscribe. I'm gonna be here next week looking like Erica Badu until I get my hair fixed, y'all. Y'all don't even want to know. Thank y'all for listening. Um, please make sure you pass this on. Episode 3, y'all know it's coming next Sunday. That's gonna be a little crazy. Um, my life is. I have some things in my life, y'all. It's like, what is going on? But I do appreciate y'all tuning in or watching the recorded version. Sorry about the stuff earlier. I don't know. You know, it is what it is. I still got the message out. This will still be uploaded. I love you guys. I will see y'all next Sunday. Please make sure when y'all come, y'all have like a little wine. Y'all can talk to me through the chat. I'll text, I'll message back. But I love you guys. And I really thank y'all for rocking with me. Okay, getting me through this. I promise you, let me tell you this. So after the 6-part episode, we're gonna do some fun stuff, y'all. I think I'm gonna start vlogging. Let me know if y'all want me to vlog. This is crazy. Like I'm like an entrepreneur now. Like this is crazy. Um, I will start vlogging. I do have some guests coming on, and I'll actually be guests on other people's podcasts thanks to my very first one. So I stepped out on faith, right? I stepped out on faith. My great grandmother, my father, my aunt always told me to step out on faith. As long as you step out on faith, you're gonna be okay. So next, yeah. So after the 6th part, we're gonna get this deep stuff over with, and then I want people to start telling me what y'all want me to talk about. I'm gonna have my friends on here. We're gonna have girl time. I'm gonna have a lot of people on here. I will have, believe it or not, y'all, I have my dude on here because so he can talk about what it's like to date me because it's a lot. Okay, it's a Tanisha. You know, it's a lot. I'm a lot. I'm a friend, but I'm a lot, right? You can say that. It's okay. I'm a lot. I know I be driving Tanisha crazy, y'all. I drive her absolutely nuts, but she be rocking with me. So, so thank you to everybody. See y'all next Sunday. Bye.